New Orleans' most watched news. Fox 8 Local First starts now.
Well, right now at noon on Fox 8 News, we've got the latest for you on this. The EPA and federal officials will update Tangipahpoa communities tonight after that warehouse explosion in Roseland last Friday. There is a 1-mile mandatory evacuation order that is still in effect as residents say they're finding oil and ash residue on their homes and vehicles. Good afternoon, I'm Liz Reyes. The Environmental Protection Agency is expected to hold a news conference to update the response to that massive fire that erupted in Tangipahpoa Parish. Tan Trong joins us from the Parish Emergency Operations Center with the latest. Tan.
Liz, good afternoon. That fire is now 90% contained, and that evacuation zone is now reduced to from a 1 mile radius from around that area into a small area around the Smitty supply plant. And you mentioned that residue and that oily sheen that is on people's property. With that on people's properties, homes and cars, there's a lot of concern about the potential impacts and the health impacts of that fire, and we're hoping to get more answers when the EPA holds a press conference later today. Now, that fire broke out earlier on Friday, and it caused quite a massive scene. That massive fire broke out after an explosion, and local officials say they're relieved that no one was hurt or killed. 3 days later, what caused the fire is still under investigation. Plant officials previously reported that a range of things from ethanol to motor oil are typically stored at their facility. While state officials said air monitoring has not prompted responses so far, one doctor urged residents to be very careful in coming into contact with oil from the fire. As you can imagine, as people are trying to clean up and trying to figure out what to do with their property that's been coated with that oily sheen, they're trying to see if there's any potential impacts on that. And there's also concern about the potential environmental impact from this fire as well. And there's been responses on the Tangipahpoa River to contain any runoff from the response from that fire. And they're hoping that much of that water does not get into Lake Pontchartrain. Again, people are having many questions about what to do and what the response is going to be. We're hoping to get more answers later today when the Environmental Protection Agency has a news conference to update that response. And right now, they're leading that response. Reporting in Tangipahpoa Parish, Tan Trong, Fox 8 Local First.
Okay, thank you, Tan. Well, Fox 8's Rob Masson joins us live now from Ponchatoula along the Tangipahpoa River, where booming operations are underway. Rob.
Hey, Liz, we are on the Tangipahpoa River, just east of Ponchatoula, about a mile north of Highway 22. You can smell the oily substance in the air, and you can definitely see it on the water here. It has been coming down the Tangipahpoa River. We're about 30 miles below the Smitty's plant, and it has been coming down this waterway for over 12 hours now. And you can see there's coverage over the river, about 20 to 30% as the river moves by at roughly 2 to 3 miles an hour. You can also see, in addition to the oily substance on the surface, you can also see a sheen over here on the west side of the river off of this tree. But just a real mess here in Ponchatoula, and a big concern for residents like Pat Mashburn, who's joining me now. And Pat, what did you think when you started smelling this stuff?
You know, it didn't really register with me because I wasn't thinking about the explosion. But yesterday morning when I woke up, I mean, the smell was present. I mean, it was almost overwhelming. And then the color of the water intensified over 5 hours to where there was no mistaking where this was coming from.
Were you surprised to see it, given that you're 30 miles away from where the fire occurred?
I was very surprised. I mean, I've never seen anything like this up close and personal, and now it's at my back door. You know, this is like a hidden paradise out here, and you know, it's just, hopefully it's not damage beyond repair, but I think we're just getting started.
And as you look at it, you think it's getting worse?
Yeah, much worse. And in the time that we were standing here on the dock, I could notice the water getting darker and darker. So that told me that, I mean, I don't know how long it's going to take them to fully assess the damage, but I think that they can assume that there will be a significant amount of damage done.
And what are you hearing in terms of health advisories? Has anybody reached out to you? Have there been any robocalls warning you to stay out of the river or taking other precautions around your house?
No robocalls, but the parish president has been in front of this since the very beginning, just letting people know about the initial area, which was a 1 mile radius. And then yesterday evening, they shut down the Tangipahpoa River, like all the way to Highway 22. So they've been on top of this. I mean, we have a very good parish government that interacts well with all the other agencies.
Pat, you lived around this river and recreated on this river your whole life. What do you think when you see this kind of destruction?
Well, you know, ever since I was a kid, it's been my dream to live out here, and you know, I would visit on occasion, but never in my wildest dreams did I think I'd be able to live here. I mean, it's like I tell people, I wasn't born on the river, but I got here as fast as I could, which has been a little bit over a year now.
You hope this goes away quick?
Absolutely, because I want to put my kayak back in the water and head upriver.
All right, Pat Mashburn, thanks for talking to us. Appreciate it. He's staying out of the river for now. We did see some booming operations just south of us here under the bridge at Highway 22, and residents all up and down this river paying close attention to this oily sheen that's making its way toward Lake Pontchartrain. The Pontchartrain Conservancy says they don't have boots on the ground here yet, but they are monitoring the situation, and we have reached out to DEQ to see exactly whether or not this has reached the lake yet. It would stand to reason at some point it will, but we have not heard back from them. That's the story from Ponchatoula on the banks of the Tangipahpoa River. Rob Masson, Fox 8 Local First. Liz, back.
Okay, thank you, Rob. Also, state police and local health experts urge residents to be mindful about those possible health risks regarding the aftermath of that explosion. They say if you have questions or concerns about the health impacts, you can contact the Poison Control Hotline or the Wildlife Hotline. It's listed on your screen right there. Officials recommend limiting your time outdoors, wash your hands frequently, and avoid touching your face if you come in contact with any of the soot or the oily residue.